Hi, this is Felisa. Today I'm going to share with you my anti-aging secrets because one of the questions I'm asked most is what is my skincare? How do I look so young? What is my age? Guess what my age is? So I am 31 years old and people still often think that I am 21. It's okay if you don't think so. It's okay, but I'm just telling you what I've heard. People have told me I look like I'm in my young early 20s slash even younger. So what is my big secret? Well, I am going to share with you today. First, we're going to talk about skin, and then we're going to talk about lifestyle. So for my skin, I pretty much only use these two products regularly. This lotion I have been using for, I want to say, at least the past 10 years, and I pretty much don't use any other lotion. This is it. I don't use any fancy creams. This is like very basic. I don't use any like collagen, firming, smooth, whatever, extra fancy cream. Nope. We go very cheap, basic, large quantity cream. It's better if you buy in bulk. It's like, yes, give me that cream. And then this is organic jojoba oil, 100% organic, which I got from acne.org. And I'm sure you could get other brands too. So I'll just show you what I do. I put like just a couple drops or a few drops. It depends on how humid your environment is. If it's the summer and you're sweating a lot and it's very humid, you have to be careful with the oil because it will clog your pores. So if you have oily skin, be very careful. You will get acne if you use too much. So if it's very humid and you're like sweating already, I actually don't use any oil at all. But if it's very dry in the winter and like my skin has been acting up because I've had this allergy thing, so I need to moisturize a lot, and then basically like that. And then I use the back of my hands. Oops, I didn't show you, but after I mix it, I just use it. You know what? Let's just keep moisturizing our face while we're at it. So I use the back of my hands and I just dab on the cream like so after I shower to lock in the moisture. And that is pretty much it. How do I wash my face? What products I use? I don't use any other products. I pretty much 99.9% of the time, I don't wear makeup. I think less is more. Less is more. And here I'm going to show you a bunch of products that claim to be gentle or cleansers, and just read the chemicals on the back of the label. There are so many chemicals in all these products. Before I used to use a cleanser that was this gentle German like EU brand that had like, I used it for many years. But then I realized looking at the label that it contained denatured alcohol, and actually using products with alcohol in it, not all alcohol, but some alcohol is fine. But denatured alcohol and stuff like that is very, very drying and it causes acne. So I actually quit using that cleanser and my skin actually did not get any acne. And I think part of that is because I'm not in my teens anymore and my hormones have changed. But also because I used less product, my skin has actually repaired itself. So the problem was in my teens, I had a lot of stress. And because I had stress, I had acne and I kept on touching my face and picking at it. And the thing is, you cannot touch your face. Do not touch your face. Your fingers, everything has so much bacteria in it. The more you pick and scratch, the more stuff is going to happen. And then the more stuff happens on your face, the more you want to fix it by cleaning it. But the more you clean it, the more you strip your face from its natural oils, from the natural protective barrier. So your skin is just getting worse and worse. You need time for it to repair itself because your skin is a natural protective barrier. You need time for that barrier to grow and to heal itself. And once it heals itself, you don't actually need to do too much. And so that's kind of the problem with my skin right now, my body. Why I'm getting these rashes is because I took too many showers, and the excessive showering and drying of the skin removed the natural protective function of the skin. So then it became allergic to a lot of things even more easily because I was stripping the skin of, I was harming it. And I need time for it to repair itself. So the answer to your skin problems is not more chemicals and harsh chemicals to clean it and to kill stuff, but to let it heal by using less, a lot less, not even washing your face, to be honest. I read this thing which really transformed my opinion on this, because back when I had acne in my teens, I did this again from this acne.org thing. I did this program where you put a lot of benzoyl peroxide and the salicylic acid, something like that. Like this 3-step thing in your face, so many chemicals, it actually created a lot of micro wrinkles on my forehead, which I still have. But even when I was 16, I had those micro wrinkles because it dried my skin so severely. I didn't need to do something so harsh to clean the skin of the acne. It was because I was touching it too much and other things. And because also normally as a teen, the hormones. But I didn't need to strip it so harshly with the chemicals. I mean, that kind of damages skin long term. So now I try to ease by not even washing my face when I can. Like some days I don't even wash my face. And the thing is that your skin will protect itself. It's because I read the skincare routine of a Japanese pop star. I'm not sure if this is true, but apparently she doesn't even wash her face after she put on sunscreen and makeup. She doesn't wash her face. I'm going to put a picture of her. When I was in Japan, I took a picture with her. And the thing is, you don't need to wash your face all that often. I definitely wash my face. Well, this is another reason why I don't like to put on too much sunscreen or makeup, is because I definitely have to clean it. So after I put on products, I definitely clean it. But without products, I don't need to touch my face. I don't need to clean it. And because of that, my skin is naturally very healthy by itself most of the time. Okay. So going into sun protection and just skin protection, the major thing besides moisturizing and all of that is protecting against UV rays, because UV rays are very damaging. And I actually have a lot of moles on my face now because I've been getting more sun. But normally when I walk outside, I have an umbrella, I have a huge hat, and I have various forms of protection that covers my face, sunglasses, all of that jazz. When I'm driving, I have like an extra hat with like thing that covers my face. When I was really gung-ho about it, I also covered my arms, but recently I've been trying to get more sun, so I'm not that crazy about it. But in general, I do not let my face hit the sun directly for too long, because that creates wrinkles and sunspots, and it's just very damaging to the skin. So my opinion on sunscreen is that, again, it's a lot of chemicals, so definitely no on the chemical sunscreens. I switched away from chemical sunscreens, I want to say maybe like at least 5 or even many years before that. Chemical sunscreens, if you read the stuff in it, oxybenzene, all of that stuff, are actually carcinogenic, or they stay in your body for a very long time, and they alter your reproductive system, your other organs. They're actually very damaging. They not only kill coral reefs, but they're also not good for your body. Your body absorbs it through the skin, and that's actually not good. So mineral sunscreen or physical sunscreen is better, and that's the stuff with zinc oxide. The downside is it makes your skin look white, but if you absolutely can't use physical protection, I would use the physical sunscreen. However, I generally don't like to put stuff on my face. So when I can, I don't do any sunscreen at all. And I just have physical barriers of protection, which are umbrella, hats, sunglasses, masks. It's great after COVID, people are normalizing using masks, because in Asia, you see a lot of women wearing masks all the time because they want to preserve their skin. But in the West, people think it's weird. But just normalize it. It doesn't matter if you walk outside with an umbrella. It's fine. I don't care if people look at me funny. For me, the pleasure, and especially with global warming, cities are going to become hotter and hotter. Just normalize walking outside with an umbrella and the sunshine. It doesn't matter. It's going to become a thing. Trust me, you can be the vanguard. You can do it now. Follow the Belisa train. Yes. Okay. So that's my sun care and skincare, which is no product, as little product as possible, and physical barriers to the skin against the sun when possible. Okay. Now let's move on. That's pretty much all I do with my skin in terms of what, like, care. That's a very basic, very man cave. Now in terms of lifestyle. Ooh, okay. So I would say I am generally a pretty happy person. And this is something that I've learned because back when I was getting all that acne, I was actually very prone to stress and suffering. Like, I mean, actual just angst. There was that teenage angst, but then later on there was other angst, and there was like drama, and there was like more angst and suffering, all self-induced suffering. And then over the years, what all that suffering did for me was it pushed me towards the path of spiritual realization, where I wanted to and suffering, where I said, okay, I don't feel like having this suffering anymore. How do I be happy? How do I be happy? So here are some of the books that have impacted my life in a certain way. Some of my favorite spiritual books. And because of the spirituality, because of learning how to become happy, this happiness flows within me from inside out. Inside out. And that is the joy, that is the carefreeness that will seem to people like youth. Because you laugh so much, because you still dance and you still have this innocent air and you still look at the world with these fresh, optimistic eyes. You're not jaded. So how do you seem younger is by the youthful attitude, is looking at the world still with fresh, optimistic eyes of love, eyes of joy, eyes of optimism. And it doesn't mean you're stupid, right? You have experience, you have wisdom, you're not stupid. But but you're probably still stupid relative to you in like 10 years. You're probably still stupid right now. Anyway, life is a constant growing process, right? But you still maintain that energy, that joy of life, which I have because I feel like I'm connected to the world, because I'm able to appreciate the little things and taking the time to smell the flowers, smelling the flowers, swirling milk in my tea. These are a few of my favorite things. How can I not be happy? So I do yoga pretty much every single day. And my mom actually got me into yoga about 10 years back, before that actually. And I didn't really feel like it, but it changed her life first. And she's been doing it very, very regularly. And she has more muscle and arm muscle, especially arm strength. And she can do more poses than me. She can do crow pose. She can do handstands. She's very strong. And she's very youthful. So yoga is something that I highly, highly recommend. Yoga, start now, no matter how old you are, because she started when she was middle age. I was first introduced to it as when I was like around 17, 18-ish, but I didn't really do it until a few years later. So doing that, having that practice will transform you. I have friends who are veterans who had PTSD from wars, and they came back and they literally had terrors, like waking up and pulling a knife out on their own father. But how they helped heal themselves was through a practice of yoga. And that's how they were able to sleep at night. So yoga is so transformative, it's so healing, that just no matter how old you are, when you start it now, it will help transform you spiritually, mentally, and will also make you more youthful as a side effect. My teacher, one of my yoga teachers, her name is Kim. She is one of the most gorgeous, radiant women I know. And she is in her 50s, I think. But she just looks so beautiful. Every time I see her on the screen, I'm like, wow, she's so gorgeous. Inside and out. She just has that light that shines through her. And that joy for life. And she always teaches us in her class as well, because yoga is not just about physical poses. The reason why I love it more so than any other exercise really is because it's actually not at all about what poses you do, like this is this. Even if you don't do any of that, which is why in India or many traditional yogis, they don't do the poses. They just sit there and meditate, because it's actually a breathing practice. It's more about your breath than it is about your physical form. Because it connects your breath with your body, it connects your mind with your breath, with your body. It seats you back into your body, and it opens you to love. It opens your heart to love. It's all about dropping the negativity, letting it flow away, and expanding your heart core to love, to radiant, to light love from the universe, and then being able to then give it out. All the yoga teachers I know are such positive, loving people, because they've received so much love and they're opening themselves to love and giving it out. And just that energy will give you so many years of your life back. Doing something you love in life is much, much better than buying all the friggin' anti-aging creams in the world. You can buy all these luxury products for your face, but if your job is killing you solely by giving you so much stress, then you're actually neglecting the deeper issue, which is that when you're not happy, when you're doing something that makes you suffer, And if you cannot accept it or change your attitude about it, if you really are suffering, then your negative attitude, your stress, that so much cortisol is one of the hormones or one of the chemicals that make you look uglier. And no matter how old you are, it just makes your face uglier. People have done studies on it because it's a stress chemical. And so instead of thinking, how do I put stuff on my face on the outside to make myself look better, think, how do I purify myself from within so that I glow from within? And that is something that your mind is everything. I keep saying this. Your mind creates your reality. Yes. You're hypnotized. Your mind creates your reality. Believe me, it is true. Your mind creates your reality. So take steps to be in contact with what you are inputting into your body. That means the food you're consuming, the water you're consuming. I don't drink anything really except for water. I don't drink soda. I don't drink I don't drink alcohol, maybe like, unless it's like maybe three times a year, I'd say I drink alcohol. So I don't do drugs. I try to stay away from pills as much as possible. I mean, like pharmaceutical stuff. Chinese idiom, 是药三分毒, which means as long as it is medicine, it has three parts poison. So it's like 7 parts medicine, but 3 parts poison. Any single thing that seems like it's medicine. I eat mostly organic things and I eat mainly vegetables. Here is a sample of what I eat. It's not just food and water. It is also the stuff you consume mentally and spiritually. So things that have a lot of violence, sex, and other things like pornography and other things, I generally try to say don't do it. I mean, obviously I'm not a man, so I don't have I guess I don't have the sex drive, so I guess it's easier. But it's like, I mean, let's just say if I were a man, I would try not to watch porn, because a lot of stuff you have to be mindful of what you're consuming. Am I going way off topic here? But since we are talking about lifestyle, this is just in general the stuff I do. My sleep is actually not that great, but I do sleep a lot. So I sleep at least 8 hours a day. What else should I talk about? I do Tai Chi. I breathe a lot. Deep breathing is very beneficial. In general, things that lower your stress and give you happiness is very good. So I would recommend picking up a spiritual practice. And you can start to open your mind, at least slowly, by reading some books. I recommend The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Changed my life. There are other books you can read. Whatever faith you have, if you have no faith, but just opening yourself up to the possibility of faith will help transform you. But the funny thing is, now that I'm doing so much spiritual stuff, I care less and less about how I look and about my face, period. So I've been actually out in the sun, especially because I've been severely deficient in vitamin D because I was so not bathing in the sun, that now I am actually doing intense sun exposure. I try to still hide my face with a towel and a hat, but I'm getting in general a lot more sun on my entire body, and it's okay. And I have more moles on my face and more sun exposure, and I know I'll probably get more wrinkles too, but it's also okay because I'm healthier, I'm happier, and I also feel, I care less. So the irony is the more healthy and spiritual and aware and all loving and all that jazz you are, the less you will actually care about what your face looks like. So I frankly don't care. And this is me now, 31, and I could still pass as young 20s. But who knows, like maybe in a year or two, I will suddenly look a lot older and then like look my age. I really don't care, because the people who see beauty in you and people who accept you and who you feel beautiful around, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry, oh shoot, am I looking old? No, it's more about the happiness that you give each other. And what I want to say about this, happiness. What do I want to say about this? Yes, the people you're with is also a thing you have to be aware of. Confucius had a famous story about 近朱者赤. So you have, if a virtuous man is constantly surrounded by fragrant things, and he will become more fragrant. But if he's surrounded by just a smelly fish market, then he will also turn smelly. People who are close to red will become more red, and people who are close to black will turn more black. And so you have to be aware of the stimuli around you, the environment you're in, the people you're surrounded by, the things you're influenced by, right? And you can allow yourself to also transform your environment, but you also have to be aware of how you are being influenced by the things around you. And so all of those things are important. Thank you. And just be yourself. Who cares? Who cares? Who cares about your freaking age? I mean, I guess you do. That's why you're watching. But yeah, wrinkles are fine. Wrinkles are beautiful. Bye. All right. I know there are those of you who have been dying to ask, well, what about your freaking race? What about your genes? Yeah, what about them? Those are important for sure. Those are my canvas. But what I do with them are much more important. And I can say that I look and feel better than I did 5 years ago because I am so much happier and at peace with myself. I have as many or less white hairs as I did when I was a 12-year-old. Imagine that. So your mentality, your attitude, and your ways of living are much more important than what you were born with. Because if you use it right, you will allow the natural beauty you already carry within you to glow. And if you do not, then whatever you have on your face will be marred by all the heavy existential sorrow that you carry. All right. Now, I'd like to encourage you to think that today is the youngest you will ever be. So take the moment right now. The moment right now that you have is the best moment that you have. Today is the best day of your life, and it is the youngest day of your life. So live like you mean it. Smile and share your joy. Bye.